All right, this one wants us to logically complete the text, so let's just go to the text and kind of see where the logic is headed. Ancestral Puebloans, the civilization from which present-day Pueblo tribes descended, emerged as early as 1500 BCE in an area of what is now the southwestern United States and dispersed suddenly in the late 1200s, abandoning established villages with systems for farming crops and turkeys. Recent analysis comparing turkey remains at Mesa Verde, one such village in southern Colorado, to samples from modern turkey populations in the Rio Grande Valley of north-central New Mexico, determined that the latter birds, meaning the New Mexico birds, descended in part from turkeys cultivated at Mesa Verde, with shared genetic markers appearing only after 1280. Okay, this is a good example of like, don't get too into it here. Like, notice 1280, 1200s. Like, what happened in the 1200s? They suddenly dispersed. Now we're discovering that the turkeys in this other place are similar to the turkeys that were in the first place. So what's our logical conclusion? That the people, that they moved to, the latter birds descended apart from turkeys cultivated at Mesa Verde with shared genetic markers appearing only after 1280. Yeah, from modern turkey populations. Yeah. So they moved to, what's the new place? New Mexico? New Mexico. Cool. Let's see if there's a choice that says they moved to New Mexico. A, conditions of the terrains in these two places had greater similarities in the past than they do today. Well, it's about the turkeys, not about the terrains. This just seems random to me. B, some ancestral Puebloans migrated to the Rio Grande Valley, in the late 1200s and carried farming practices with them. Like, migrated to this place, like moved to, that's almost exactly what I just said. That's probably right. Indigenous peoples living in the Rio Grande Valley primarily planted crops and did not cultivate turkeys before 1280. No, because they're saying that the turkeys came from somewhere else. So yes, that might be true, but like the point of it is like, well, if they did start the turkeys in 1280, why? Well, it's because these other people came and brought the turkeys with them. That's kind of what they're saying here. Just as another aside here, the word primarily scares me. This is one of those words that tends to quantify things and make it really, really strong, right? I mean, we don't know what they primarily did. Maybe they planted crops, maybe they hunted, maybe they had turkeys. I don't know. They could have done all those things, but to say that one is the primary thing is going too far. That's usually a bad sign in choices. And D, the ancestral Puebloans of Mesa Verde likely adopted the farming practices of indigenous peoples living in other regions. Well, I mean, that might be true, but again, the point of what they're saying is they were living in some area, then they suddenly moved and dispersed, right? Dispersed means to go somewhere else, abandoning their villages, right? So it's not that like the people in New Mexico are copying the people in Colorado. It's just that they must have gone there, right? They left Colorado. Where did they go? It's just like they're clearly leading you towards a question, and I guess we're supposed to kind of smartly guess what that question is, and then our answer choice is the answer to that question, right? Like, what happened to these people? Well, they moved, and we know that because of the turkeys. Like, that's kind of the point. So these are hard questions because, again, they do require a skill that is not common on the SAT, which is that we have to do a lot of thinking to kind of connect the dots. But you'll get used to it. You'll get used to knowing when you have to do that. And in this case, I don't think I'm stretching too far to make those connections. They're saying the people are here, they're gone suddenly, and this time period, and then now, like, where did they go? Like, that's clearly the question that we're trying to answer, and something about turkeys and the people moving is what our answer is going to be. Even if you don't fully understand it, B is checking a lot of those boxes, so hopefully it just kind of stands out as the most related to the other ideas that are in there. Tricky questions, you'll get used to them with practice.